Hi investigators, Mike Evans again with episode 6 of our Government Fraud Control Diploma, Government Investigation Diploma, Government Workplace Inspection Diploma and Advanced Diplomas support program for people during the COVID-19 lockdown in Sydney. This has been requested to help them with their study while they've got time to do it. Today we're looking at workplace health and safety. Now, I know what you're saying. We have that ram down our throat. In the public service, the worst thing that can possibly happen is you get a really nasty paper cut. But it is a whole lot more serious than that. So let's go over and watch the video. Hi, Mike Evans again with our COVID-19 support program for people studying the Advanced Diploma of Government Fraud Control, Workplace Inspection and Investigation, the Diploma of Government Investigation, Fraud Control and Workplace Inspection. This episode 6 of our series of 10, we're looking at workplace health and safety, specifically ensure a safe workplace for a work area. Now people say to me, why do I have to study this? We get it on the intranet on a daily basis. At all the conferences we have to go to, we have it rammed down our throat. We're aware of safety in our workplace, in the office and in the field, and it's just overwhelming information and it's just too much too often. Well, you are the employer, you are the manager, you are the person who is responsible for the safety of the people you're sending out into the field. Let's have a look at what you're asking. You are asking your staff to go out and enforce regulatory compliance. You're having them to say to people who don't want to comply, this is the line. You are on this side of the line. You're non-compliant. To get back on this side of the line, you must do these things that I tell you. Comply with my directive, rectify this, cease that, report that, provide that, and so on, depending on whether you're in the tax office, whether you're in child support, depending on whether you're in workplace health and safety transport, or you may even be in a role within environment and heritage. So you're going to be enforcing that kind of compliance on people that do not want to comply. Effectively, what you are doing is making them do what your mother used to do to you, and you didn't want to do it. You are making them eat their vegetables because compliance is going to be good for them. And if they comply with your directive, then life's going to be okay. If they pay their tax, if they comply with the environmental laws, if they don't pollute the air, if they pay their licence fees, if they pay their staff benefits or occupational health and safety, whatever it is. Your mum never gave up on you. She worked with you to eat those vegetables. So you got an ice cream at the end of it. So your role as the compliance enforcement manager of people going out there and doing that is to ensure they work with people to comply. Now, I'm not silly enough to think that in 100% of cases people are going to comply. In the very negative environment we have at the moment, people don't want to wear masks. They don't want to check in shops. They object to that. They don't want to have vaccines. So there's a lot of anti-compliance thinking out there. Your role as the manager of the people working for you is to ensure their safety when they go out and take statements, when they go out and collect evidence, when they go out and execute a search warrant. So safety is part of what you do. Now, let's come back to what the most common injury to investigators is.
Personal protective equipment is vital. A lot of the times you're going to be conducting work where there was already one accident, and if you're going there, you're going to have to abide by the safety rules when you go there to measure, inspect and videotape the scene. So sickness and accident reporting are very important. Ergonomics, manual handling, noise control, storage of any hazardous substances you may collect as evidence. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but the most common injury to private investigators who are always in a hurry and rushing to their next appointment is a simple, easily avoided injury. What they do is they grab their laptop computer and they throw it in a bag and they throw it over their shoulder with a shoulder strap there, and they rush out the door and the door shuts behind them, the bag jams in the door and they pull a muscle in their shoulder and they're in neck pain and back pain for a long time afterwards. That is the most common injury to private investigators. Now, I know it's disappointing that it's not bullet wounds and fight scars and stuff like that, but it's quite a safe industry if you use common sense. So keep that in mind before you rush to your next appointment. Take a deep breath, have your bag ready, open the door, go through the door, make sure your bag's with you all the way through, then close the door behind you.
So, you, the manager, who is studying a diploma, and when you hold that diploma, you are a qualified manager, will be sending out your staff to enforce compliance in a compliance-resistant environment. You must think about that. So don't ever think that something dangerous may not ever happen to you. It can happen to anyone. In 1996, I was the workplace health and safety instructor for a group of 36 students in a TAFE program. We'd been studying workplace health and safety for some 7 months, and it was getting near to the end and they were about to graduate. And one of our last programs was armed robbery. And I had a police officer come all the way across the road from the police station across the road, and he spoke to my class about armed robbery. And he said to them, look, it's much better to be it's much better to be a live coward than a dead hero. If someone points a gun at you and demands money, give them the money. And that's what he said. And my class watched that. And what they used to do, this was a Friday, and they would have Saturday off, and then they'd go to work on a Sunday, because where they worked was actually a government attraction, like a theme park. On the Saturday, they'd organised to have a party, and they'd had a little party. They'd been discussing it for months, and they were up a little bit late that night, but they all went to work the next day. And after that day, that Sunday, it was another 8 months before any of them were ever able to return to my class at TAFE. They all worked at a tourist attraction called Port Arthur. And over 36 people were shot dead in their workplace on that Sunday where they worked. None of my students were. It wasn't from good training, it was just from good luck. But as the responsible workplace health and safety trainer for that class at that TAFE, where they all worked as trainees or apprentices in various roles, from in the cafes to in the ticketing, car parking, or wherever they worked, always wondered what would have happened if one of them had been fatally injured and I had that responsibility. You, the manager of the people you are sending out to enforce compliance in the field, must understand that workplace health and safety is an integral part of your study for this. Please take it seriously. I'm Mike Evans from the Australian Security Academy. I'll be back later on this week. See you then. Bye.